In today's video, you'll meet a frog that probably ate dinosaurs and the biggest crocodilian that's ever lived on Earth. Carbonemys. Nowadays, when a turtle meets a crocodile, it's always the turtle that ends up being the meal. But millions of years ago, it was pretty much the other way around. Not because crocodilians were much smaller back then, oh no. It's just that there was a turtle that was much bigger. You see, after the extinction of the dinos, a huge gap was left at the top of the food chain. And in order to fill that gap, the surviving animals had to evolve, growing much larger and developing a taste for meat. Hence, the Carbonemys came about, a large predatory turtle that lived in swamps and lakes 60 million years ago in what is now Colombia. This massive turtle was thought to have grown to over 3 meters long. Examining its fossilized skull revealed that it had a pretty strong bite force and was likely a carnivore. It's that bite force that lets scientists know that this giant reptile hunted crocodiles for food on the regular. Would have also eliminated all forms of competition within its territory, so it's actually theorized that every single swamp and lake in prehistoric Colombia had a resident, dominant Carbonemys on the hunt. And given how long turtles live, they would have remained dominant for a very long time. Quetzalcoatlus. Terrifying animals didn't occupy only the ground and the water, some of them could also fly as well. Just imagine a predatory creature the size of a giraffe with a 33-foot wingspan flying through the air. No, it's not a dragon, and no, it's not impossible either, but as history has always proved, nothing is impossible with evolution. Quetzalcoatlus and Utahraptor lived during the Cretaceous period alongside dinosaurs, and might have even eaten smaller ones as well. A theory detailed in a Wired magazine article in 2013 suggests that they mostly hunted by walking around like a stork, plucking plants and small animals up off the ground with their 6-foot beaks. But when they took to the air, researchers think they were graceful and powerful flyers. Quetzalcoatlus had hollow bones like modern birds, a crucial trait that allowed them to take to the air. So in comparisons, where giraffes weigh as much as 2,800 pounds, these creatures only carried about 550 pounds. Scientists also believe that they were such efficient flyers, so much so that they might have been able to fly and glide for days at a time. Fossils also show that they were covered with hair, which probably helped them regulate their body temperature during flight. The Allosaurus. The ferocious Allosaurus was a carnosaurian theropod that lived during the late Jurassic epoch. It was the apex predator during its time and was an incredibly large dinosaur that was known to reach upwards of 16.5 feet in height and grow upwards of 28 feet in length. It preyed primarily on herbivorous dinosaurs, but recent discoveries suggest that it also hunted other predators for food. The Allosaurus was an incredibly deadly animal renowned for both its immense power and its strength. An extremely fierce and aggressive predator in the wild, the Allosaurus possessed well-muscled arms and legs and approximately 32 serrated teeth that could be used for both offense and defense. Likewise, their skull was incredibly strong and could be used as a hatchet against opponents by keeping their mouth open during attacks. Through a swinging motion of their head, this open-mouth strategy allowed the Allosaurus to slash its victims, inflicting massive amounts of damage and blood loss. Add to that its incredibly strong bite force, estimated to be around 1500 psi, the Allosaurus was truly one of the most feared predators of its time. The devil frog. At 16 inches, it was probably the largest, not to mention most obese frog to ever hop across a Cretaceous lily pad. When scientists found the remains of this fossilized frog in Madagascar, they simply went nuts at its size. Known as the Beelzebufo Mpinga, or devil frog, it was 3.5 inches taller than the largest living frog ever found. It lived between 65 and 70 million years ago, right in the thick of the Cretaceous period. The devil frog had an overly large mouth and stomach to accommodate. It was actually so huge that it probably didn't do a lot of hunting on its own, but rather waited until its prey passed by. It also probably ate smaller frogs, lizards, and mice, and perhaps, just perhaps, baby dinosaurs. Velociraptor. The deadly Velociraptor first appeared 75 to 71 million years ago during the late Cretaceous period. Living primarily in modern-day China and Mongolia, the Velociraptor was a relatively small dinosaur that was both bipedal and feathered in its appearance. Some of the most notable features for this species included a large sickle-shaped claw on each hindfoot, along with an elongated skull, upturned snout, and a short body. On average, most specimens reach an overall size of 43.5 pounds of maturity, with an average height of 1 foot 7 inches. So they're more like a butterball turkey and less like they seem in Jurassic Park. Which is more than likely a Utahraptor, actually. Considered a nocturnal species by most researchers, the Velociraptor is believed to have hunted in packs, as a number of fossilized remains have indicated this sort of behavior. Although it was an incredibly small dinosaur for its time, the Velociraptor was an incredibly dangerous and deadly animal due to its large sickle-shaped talons that adorned the second toe of its feet. Combined with their hand-like appendages that possessed 3 curved claws as well, these razor-sharp talons were capable of easily slashing and holding prey. It also easily dispatched and devoured its prey with the aid of its 26 to 30 sharp teeth and its bite force of 1,000 psi. Livyatan. In today's oceans, killer whales hunt other species of whales, working in packs to take down their much bigger prey and generally being jerks. But living whales have it easy. Those that swam off the coast of Peru around 12 million years ago were hunted by a far bigger predator, a recently discovered animal with a very appropriate name: Livyatan. At 60 feet in length, it was no bigger than the modern sperm whale, but it was clearly far more formidable. Livyatan's mouth was full and huge of teeth, and the largest of which were a foot long and around 4 inches wide. It clearly grabbed its prey with a powerful bite, inflicting deep wounds and tearing off flesh as killer whales do, but with a skull 3 times as big. While modern sperm whales mainly eat squid, Livyatan used its fearsome teeth to kill its own kind, the giant baleen whales to be more specific. At that same point in prehistory, baleen whales started becoming much bigger, and they were certainly the most common large animals in the area that Livyatan lived in. Scientists believe that Livyatan grew to such a size to take advantage of the large prey. Utahraptor. Endemic to North America, the Utahraptor was first discovered by Jim Jensen in 1975 around the Dalton Wells Quarry of East Utah, hence the name. It was a bipedal predator. The animal commonly reached heights of 4.9 feet with an astounding length of 16 to 23 feet at maturity. The dinosaur could be easily identified by its long and narrow skull, thin and muscular tail, powerful hind limbs, as well as their curved claws that resemble that of the Velociraptor. Recent evidence also suggests that the Utahraptor may have possessed feathers across its body similar to modern-day birds. However, this claim continues to be a highly contentious subject among scholars. The Utahraptor was an insanely deadly and dangerous dinosaur during the early Cretaceous period due to its remarkable speed and its power. One of its most potent features was this animal's incredible intelligence. Operating within larger packs, Utahraptors possessed a strategic mindset, allowing them to actively herd and set traps for their victims. Once caught, the animal was capable of unleashing a series of devastating attacks through both bites and quick slashes. Now it's time for the day's best pick, which is the one you're going to see here ravaging the back of a clearly unappreciative T-Rex. Now, what kind of animal is this? The Spinosaurus. Thanks to its stunning sail and its crocodile-like appearance and lifestyle, and not to mention its romping, stomping cameo in Jurassic Park 3, the Spinosaurus is rapidly gaining on the Tyrannosaurus Rex as the world's most popular meat-eating dinosaur. Poor Giganosaurus, he'll have his day. Spinosaurus is the current record holder in the world's largest carnivorous dinosaur category. Full-grown, 10-ton adults outweigh Tyrannosaurus Rex by about a ton, and Giganosaurus by about half a ton. Since so few Spinosaurus specimens are extant, it's possible that other individuals were even larger, but pending further fossil discoveries, we can't really know for sure. What makes this dinosaur more terrifying is the fact that not only could it pursue prey on land, it could also hunt in water as well. In late 2014, researchers made a stunning announcement. Spinosaurus pursued a semi-aquatic lifestyle and may have spent more time submerged in the rivers of its northern African habitat than it did stomping around on dry land. The evidence for this is the positioning of the Spinosaurus' nostrils, which are situated toward the middle rather than the end of its snout. This dinosaur also had a small pelvis and short hind legs, with loosely connecting vertebrae in its tail and various other anatomical quirks. Spinosaurus almost certainly wasn't the only swimming dinosaur, but is the first one for which we have convincing evidence of. Cameroceras. Cameroceras was a distant ancestor of the modern squid and was the scourge of the seas millions of years ago. And they're also millions of times more terrifying than any calamari out there. They swam in the waters during the late Ordovician era in what is now North America and Asia. Measuring 11 meters in length, it was not only the largest predator during its time, as well as the largest known giant orthocone, but it was also the largest creature to have ever existed on Earth before its extinction. Cameroceras spent a lot of time in deep water. Light didn't penetrate too well down in deep water, so their eyes didn't work well, so they relied on another sense. They caught prey with their tentacles and drugged their prey back to their mouths where there was a beak, much like modern-day squids. They actually smelled out their prey and then crushed them to bits. They also weren't very fast swimmers, but hey, who needs to be fast if you're terrifyingly big and strong? Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell, and you will get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it, it really works. Sarcosuchus. The name Sarcosuchus is Greek for flesh crocodile, but that name apparently wasn't impressive enough for the producers at National Geographic. In 2001, this cable channel gave the title Super Croc on its hour-long documentary about Sarcosuchus, a name that has since stuck in the popular imagination, and one we still use to this day. Unlike modern crocodiles, which attained their full adult size in about 10 years, Sarcosuchus seems to have kept growing and growing at a steady rate throughout its lifetime. As a result, the largest and most long-lived super crocs reach lengths of up to 40 feet from head to tail, compared to about 25 feet max for the biggest croc alive today, the saltwater croc. Although it's unlikely that Sarcosuchus deliberately hunted dinosaurs for lunch, there's no reason it had to tolerate other predators that competed with it for limited food resources. A full-grown super croc would have been more than capable of breaking the neck of a large theropod, such as, say, the contemporary fish-eating Spinosaurus, which as you may well know was the biggest meat eater around. See you all next time!